Prepare to be shocked. US finally tests A-10 Warthog in unprecedented way. The A-10 Warthog does not need an introduction since it's one of the most iconic fighters of all time. This aircraft has a proven track record of various combat operations. The US Air Force decided to retire the A-10 in 2014 to save more than $3 billion. But was the A-10 retired? Stay tuned to find that out. But before we continue any further, I would request you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Now fast forward to 2022. The A-10 is still pretty much alive and kicking. In fact, that's an understatement. The A-10 is getting a whole range of updates, which will make it relevant in the modern threat of operations. Originally, the savings were to be funneled into the F-35 program. The F-35 is the latest fifth-generation multi-role aircraft, which has stealth capability. However, the A-10 Warthog was born out of the Vietnam conflict. The reason was that the US Army needed a powerful ground attack aircraft which could deliver more explosive payloads with precision. The solution came in the form of the Cobra attack helicopter. The Cobra helicopter naturally evolved into the AH-64 Apache. However, there was also another fixed wing under development. You may ask why there was a need to develop a fixed wing solution for enhanced ground capability. The primary reason was that the current offering for providing ground cover was simply not capable enough. The secondary reason was that in the A-10, the US military found a unique design which enabled the A-10 to perform a variety of missions. The aircraft has a large wingspan, ailerons, and high wing body aspects which give it excellent maneuverability. The A-10 is not the fastest aircraft out there, but even at the lower speed, 420 miles per hour, it does not lose its agile character. One of the unique advantages of the A-10 is that due to its unique dimensions, it could fly further and engage targets at an extended range. The Warthog A-10 has quite a unique specification. The A-10 Warthog can operate under a 1,000 feet ceiling, with an effective range of visibility stretching up to 1.5 miles. Those factors give it a unique advantage in terms of providing ground support, which is why it became so famous in the first place. Also, the aircraft comes with a total fuel capacity of about 10,000 gallons, giving it a combat radius of 800 miles. The fuel cells installed on it are given protection in the form of anti-explosion foam. Now, the A-10 has been given an overhaul. Due to the comprehensive series of upgrades installed on it, the A-10 is expected to be in service till 2035. These new upgrades will give the aircraft a capacity to engage targets at a longer range and thus evade enemies' offensive weapons. The new upgrades also include installing a new set of wings to the Warthog. In line with these changes, Boeing has received a $1.1 billion contract to provide 173 new wings. In terms of armaments, the A-10 Warthog got the GBU-39 small-diameter bombs and a new high-resolution multifunctional display, which will replace the cockpit central panels containing analog instruments. The 11.6 display, with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels, is a step towards digitization of the war capabilities, enhancing the overall attributes of the proven ground fighter. One way through which this display will assist with that is through high-definition targeting pod footage and integrating a new map engine. All of these upgrades will come in handy while executing combat search and rescue tactics, as well as engaging naval targets. Specifically for engaging maritime targets, GR-20 precision-guided munitions have been fitted to the A-10. The Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System will allow the aircraft to drop 6 munitions with the flick of a button. Dispatching different weapons and directing them to different targets used to be a lot harder for pilots before the upgrades were installed. Now, courtesy of the digital weapons platform, the pilot can use different weapons to engage different targets at the same time, increasing its lethality many folds. The new upgraded A-10s can be fitted with 500-pound GB-38 armaments or 2,000 pounds GBU-31 bombs. The added feature will inform the pilot that all the intended targets can be destroyed on a single bombing run. How is that for adaptability and potency? Another unique upgrade is the addition of the air-to-air missile, so that Warthog can stand a chance if it all comes down to a dogfight. The missile in question will be a pair of AIM-9M Sidewinders, which are infrared-guided missiles which provide an additional range of 22 miles. This is a brand new feature which will make Warthog relevant to almost any combat situation. The reason why the AIM-9M missile are so deadly for the A-10 is because the A-10 has a very tight turning radius, and the addition of the missile will make it really potent in a potential dogfight. This means that the enemy craft unfortunate enough to confront the A-10 will really have two options. It can either engage the aircraft in the short range and hope to shoot it down by firing its weapons first, or it can retreat and face the heat-sinking missile, which can track up to 22 miles. In either case, the odds are not really good for the enemy aircraft. Another reason why the Warthog remains relevant to modern aircraft combat is through its highway operationality. Yes, it does sound strange, but the A-10 was designed specifically for shorter takeoffs and landings using low-pressurized tires. This gives it a unique advantage in terms of takeoff from highways and landing on them too. The reason for that is that the A-10 was designed in the Cold War era, and the military wanted an aircraft which could be deployed rapidly in a conflict. In 2021, 4 A-10s and a pair of C-146A Wolfhound aircrafts landed on a road as a part of an exercise called Northern Strike. This was the first instance when an aircraft belonging to the U.S. Air Force landed on a civilian road stop. The A-10 Warthog also has the unique shark teeth painted over it, which gives it a distinctive look. The 74th, 75th, and 76th Fighter Squadrons, which operate out of Moody Air Base, have this unique paint, while there are other squadrons which use nose art. These three squadrons have shark teeth painted over them because of the unique history and heritage of belonging to the Flying Tiger Squadron. These Flying Tigers flew in to defend China against Japanese Imperial fighters before the US had entered WW2. It's interesting to point out that these fighters flew under Chinese flag and remained active for over a year. By the time the squadron was disbanded, it had destroyed about 300 enemy aircrafts. One of the more interesting facts about the A-10 is its armor. The Warthog A-10 is protected by titanium-grade armor, and it can withstand quite a bit of punishment. The aircraft's structural integrity is not compromised if the cockpit and the flight control functions do in fact take a hit. The aircraft is called a titanium bathtub because it is surrounded by a 12,000 pounds of titanium sheet. This armor also has an excellent history of keeping its pilots safe, and despite its excellent coverage, it makes up for only 7% of its overall weight. Another interesting advantage of this armor is that it can carry the aircraft safely through supercell windstorms. Perhaps that's why the Air Force uses the A-10 to monitor severe thunderstorms. And how can we forget the most iconic armament of the A-10, the 30mm GAU-8 Avenger cannon, which is located beneath the nose. This is the heaviest cannon mounted on an aircraft and accounts for 16% of A-10's weight. This cannon can fire incendiary, explosive, or armor-piercing rounds with depleted uranium shells at a rate of 3,900 rounds per minute. Just to give you an idea of how big each round is, imagine the A-10 firing beer bottles at almost 4,000 bottles per minute. Well, minus the beer. However, the 30mm cannon has a tendency to overheat, and the aircraft can only fire a few rounds per gun run. This concludes today's video. Please smash the thumbs up button if you found something of value from this video. Stay tuned for more videos like this, and thank you for watching till the end.